Dude, it's been so fucking long. I don't know either. We haven't recorded a pod in like a few weeks. Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We've been slacking.
What's up, guys? We're back with another Unkage podcast. Don't know what number we're on at this point, but I'm sure it's in the teens somewhere.
Like 14 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 15, 16, something like that. But today, we're going to expand on a topic we literally just thought of. And
10 seconds ago.
Literally 10 seconds ago. And we're going to be talking a little bit about gear as two natural athletes in general and coaches, obviously. At what age is it appropriate for you to decide to even consider it? Or also if it's something that you should even do in general. But also I feel like we're going to expand on our takes as well. So I'm unnatural, he's natural, so we're going to expand on why.
Allegedly.
Yeah. On why we haven't done it either as well. So you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I think that for me personally, the reason why I haven't taken gear is because I want to go pro as a natural. It's not something I've done yet. And I want to achieve that goal and then see how I compete, how I do in the pro league with other naturals as well. So I have just a different goal within bodybuilding that isn't in a federation of bodybuilding that requires me to be enhanced, right? The OCB is a natural only federation. And not to say that I wouldn't or I'm opposed to competing in other federations, such as like the NPC, but right now that's where my head is. That's the goal that I've set out to achieve. And yeah, I don't want to compromise that. So I'm not enhanced. If it weren't for that, would I be enhanced? That's a hard maybe. I think that I would, at this point, be on some sort of maybe a peptide protocol. So if you wanted to call me like Natty Plus rather than actually enhanced, you know, like there's now this like new subcategory of people that are sort of enhanced, but not really. And again, it's sort of up to debate. I sort of see the bodybuilding world as a spectrum in terms of like nats. Like over here, you are 100% natural, and on this end of the spectrum, you are fucking taking all the gear under the sun. You know, you're trying to be an IFBB pro. You're at the top echelons of enhancements, right? You're fucking taking who knows what. So
I think there's a lot of fake natties, to be honest.
I think so too. So like if I didn't have that goal to compete in the OCB and naturals over here and super enhances fucking over here, I'd probably be somewhere like right here, closer to the natty side, where it's like natty plus, maybe taking a couple of peptides, like I don't know, maybe let's see, CJC, maybe BPC. Yeah, just some more like recovery and peptides.
Retta. No, I'm just playing.
No, not Retta. I've never felt like I've needed help with dieting in that way, so I don't think I would ever consider.
So like,
Retta.
why do you want to be natural though? Like do you think like you'd lose your shape if you hopped on, like your physique?
Do I think I would lose my shape if I hopped on? You know what? That's a great question. I think like your structure is your structure. Like you're always going to sort of be predispositioned to have a certain sort of shape.
Yeah.
But in terms of like disproportionately growing,
Yeah.
I think that maybe yes. But
You'd
also
have to be
maybe
careful with your legs.
yeah. But maybe no. Yeah, I'd have to be careful with that. You think I would like my legs would blow up too fast?
Yeah, for sure.
My legs would blow up too fast.
Because they're already big.
So yeah, I think definitely like growing disproportionately it's definitely something that you would have to consider, but it's not something that you know until you hop on, right? It's not something that is visualized and you can actually see until you're enhanced. Because then, you know, right now, I mean, you can't definitively say, but yeah. I don't know. I don't think I would. I don't think I would lose my shape. Like, would my legs come up a little quicker than my upper body if I am like hammering my legs? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm also like being careful, knowing where I'm like predispositioned to just like hold size and sort of grow quicker, then no, right? Like, I now have that data from years of training to be able to like focus my training in the areas that I need to focus on to be as competitive as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, like, if you, let's say, like, you compete in the OCB, let's say the next show that you do, you don't end up getting that pro card. Like, what's the goal after that? Would you be like,
do it again.
would you just keep doing it over and over and over
Do
until
it
you
until
did
I get
it?
my pro card, yeah.
Okay. So, at no point would you be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just hop on?
I don't know. I don't know what future Omar would say to that. Omar right now would say no. I'd say like I just keep fucking trying until I get my pro card, which I think I'm capable of doing. I mean, based on the shows that I've seen from the OCB, who's won their pro cards, how my show went, I think I'm capable of doing it. I think I have the I can definitely get the condition down. I can definitely like I have the posing. Um, at this point, it's just bringing up those like lagging areas that
Mm-hmm.
I've been needing to bring up. Um, so like my lats, my arms, my delts, all things that I've been working on towards in the off season. So in my mind, it's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why natural as opposed to enhanced? Like, why? I guess, like, because there's really nothing holding you to it other than the fact that you just want to get an OCB pro card.
yeah,
But that's just something that,
I guess that's just at the surface level, right?
yeah.
Deeper than that, for sure. I mean, there are health implications to it. Like if I go enhanced, um, I'm not a gear coach, and I've never claimed to be a gear coach. I've helped athletes with gear protocols to like a very limited extent, because I have a baseline knowledge of anabolics, but that in itself would not make me confident enough to hop on gear myself. I would want to be way more well versed when it comes to anabolics and steroids than I am currently. And
Mm.
so that's one. So the education is one. Uh, Two, I mean, of course, the health implications, right? Like, I don't want to have to deal with any potential androgenic side effects or anything else that might fuck me up long term, might fuck up my fertility, might fuck up my hairline. I like my hair. Might give me bad acne or acne scarring. I don't want gyno, and I don't want to have gyno surgery. Um, all those things, organ enlargement, right? That can potentially shorten my lifespan. Those are all things that you have to consider when you're hopping on gear, and just a risk that right now at this point in my life, I don't want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, I think there is like a debate of like doing things in a healthy way, a smart approach, but it's like gear is not healthy. Like doing gear is not really healthy at all. You're likely better unless you're hypogonadal. You're likely just better staying natural versus hopping on gear in terms of like quality of life or even like longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I mean, even that's up for debate, right? Because you'll hear a lot of guys that are enhanced that are like, dude, my life got so much better once I went enhanced. So,
What
um,
about like, is there an age that you would be like more willing to be like, okay, I definitely would want to hop on during this time, or something of that?
yeah, like late 20s, early 30s, maybe.
Okay.
Once I've really, like, your natty genetic limit isn't really hit until I would say you're probably like in your mid 30s to like maybe even up to your 40s. I mean, like pro level bodybuilders, I mean, they don't peak until around that time. And I think it's the same translates to natural bodybuilders. I mean, some of the top pro guys in the Natty League are in their 30s. So, like that being said, it takes a while for you to really reach the point of like this is your tip top fucking shape, this is your peak. And so I would probably want to sort of, in a sense, base it off of that, like as close as I can to reaching like my natural, like my natural limit. So yeah, I would say like at the very earliest, like my late 20s, you know, and at the very latest, probably like 40.
Mm-hmm.
Once my natural test production just starts going down, which I mean, at this point it already has, you know, I mean, I'm past my teens. So, you know, but once that really starts to dip, you know, quality of life starts to get impacted. Like, you know, I have lower sex drive. I'm just not as motivated. All that shit. Like, I'm just, yeah. I mean, fuck it. Why not? Like, for quality of life. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
But there's also different things that I think at that point in your life that you contemplate with. So like at that point, ideally I would have had all the kids that I want to have, right? So it's not going to impact my children's health directly, or my wife. So like I think those are also big considerations. Like who are the people around you that are going to be impacted by that decision? That is something also like now that I'm engaged, I'm about to get married, that plays a big role in the decisions that I make with that. Because, yeah, I mean, I also don't want my fiance to see me like suffer with anything that's like like a self-induced health consequence.
Mm-hmm. Geared up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so but you're not completely against being like enhanced then?
No, not at all. No, I don't think I I, I don't think that like I think that too many young guys are quick to like pin themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's such a massive social pressure, with the way that just I mean society is today, but especially with like the pressures through social media. Like you fucking open up IG and I mean it feels like every week there's a new, you know, 20-year-old, 21, 22-year-old that's like fucking
Peptides,
fucking ginormous, right? But they're just taking peptides, and they're like, dude, I mean, they look like some of these Olympia level classic guys, you know? They look fucking ginormous. They look really, really good. And that, I think, for a lot of younger guys that are still in their teens that aspire to be like that, right? Aspire to have that level of physique, and are like, damn, I can also be an IFBB pro by 22. But the sacrifice that I have to make is I have to take gear. It's like, no, like a lot of these guys too are just, like, truth be told, are genetic phenoms. Like, not only have they probably been taking gear for a while, they also are. They I mean they have the genetic predisposition to like put on that much size with or without gear, and they have the shape, right? They're just fucking they look good. There's not a lot of people like that out there, and just because you see it on social media all the time doesn't mean that there's a million other guys that look like that, right? Unfortunately, you are likely. I mean, and it depends, right? It definitely depends. Talk to a coach, but I don't think that the majority of guys that are going enhanced at this early age have truly what it takes to be a bodybuilder at that level.
Or the knowledge. And like it's just too risky of an age, because I feel like most of the time like you're not even developed, right? Like your brain in general is just super underdeveloped for you to kind of make those decisions or make rational decisions. So you just end up taking more, and then you kind of get to a point where you're not necessarily advancing anything. You're just kind of taking more gear just to take more gear, and you're just getting a ton more side effects, if anything, I feel like. So yeah, I believe that too as well. Okay, so natural then. So natural.
Why are you? So you're 29.
Yeah.
So you're 29. What is the reason that you stayed natural all through your 20s?
Why did I say natural?
Honestly, I think the reason why I stayed natural was because I just never really wanted to make my health suffer even more than it was. So I, from a very early age, already had higher cholesterol and I had fatty liver when I was a kid. Like when I was literally like a teenager, I had like high liver enzymes. They did a ultrasound on my liver and I had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So, which basically just means there's a bunch of fat surrounding your liver. This is not good long term. Uh, but I had given it to myself because I was obese and I was very high body fat and I was just eating like crap, honestly. So, knowing that when I was a teenager, I had to just start working out, doing more, not eating as much crap. And I also always, and I inherited this from my mom's side, but I have higher LDL. Like my cholesterol in general is always high. And my ApoB marker, which is the lipids that are flowing around in your blood vessels that are the ones that can cause a lot more plaque buildup, has always been higher. It's never been like normal. So, with that being said, I just have a higher risk of developing atherosclerosis, heart disease, things that gear doesn't necessarily help with. So, as much as I would love to, because I have pinned L-carnitine before, I have pinned BPC before. It's been a while now. L-carnitine I haven't done in probably 7 months or something like that, and then BPC I haven't done in years, like probably 3 years or something like that. But so I have tried those things, but I also don't like pinning. Like every time I've tried to, when I was doing L-carnitine, God, that hurt so bad. It didn't matter where I put it, like whether it was in my hip or my quad. Horrible spot, by the way. Don't ever try your quad. Or delt. Like it's like no, it's not something I think I could get used to anyways. And now that I haven't pinned anything on my like anywhere for months now, it feels so much better. Like those those muscles are way less tight now. So I do think that that's also a very bad side effect of just natural gear use. I feel like you're gonna have to rotate your sights even more. And I just couldn't imagine like doing different substances like because I know a lot of guys that are on gear like for example guys that are running major cycles that are running over a gram of stuff a week, right? You can't just load up one syringe with a gram. Like,
No.
you're doing multiple shots. And if you're smart, you're probably doing it every other day or daily. And you're splitting up all those things. Not to mention all the ancillary drugs that you're taking to counteract the side effects that you are going to have to manage. And the peptides that are also probably going to help you even more if you're a gear user. So it's like, dude, there's guys that are probably pinning like a
Multiple
couple
times
times a day.
yeah.
Yeah. That's horrible. That sucks. Like, I would hate to do that. um, I don't know if the love of me just being more bigger would absolve the hate I would have for pinning that many times, but I guess it would just have to be something crazy, like a crazier feeling than I feel right now, like of me being pumped in the gym. Like it would have to be, I feel like 10 times better in order for me to like be like, okay, it's not that bad. Like it is what it is. Like I do it for this moment here and it feels really good. But I don't know. I guess I wouldn't really know because I've never been on gear, so I don't know how that difference would feel like. But at least from what I've heard from clients is that yeah, being on gear and training, it's fucking great. It's amazing. Like you feel like a fucking animal. So, but I would say for the most part, it's just I think I'm just older at this point. Maybe if I was younger, if I was like 18 or 19 and I had the physique that I had now and maybe somewhat of the crowd that there is now, maybe I'd be more influenced to just hop on gear. But I grew up kind of fat. I never really thought I had a good physique. And I just loved working out. I loved weight training. And so I never really focused on being super lean until I got later into my later 20s, and then I was like, okay, not bad. Like I like the way I look now. It's not bad. But now that I feel like I'm 29, I'm like, dude, I just don't want to take the health risks. I feel like, so I definitely do think it's a young man sport.
Yeah.
Young man. Um, I think it's something that if you are in your earlier 20s and you have the potential to maybe chase something that's going to give you an income, or maybe go pro in a division, and you have the genetics, yeah, fuck it, why not? I feel like it's worth it at that point, because you're gonna make a living out of it, and hopefully you make a lot of money so that you can absolve all those other things that come with your health later on.
That being said, what do you feel then is like the appropriate age for somebody to hop on?
Mm, depends. Is this just a regular person?
Let's say this is a because I want to paint the picture of like what I feel like I see most commonly. This is a guy that, let's say, he's currently 18 years old. Okay, let's
Mm.
just say he can fucking, oh, he used to be able to buy cigarettes, not anymore. He can join the military, okay? He's technically of age.
So 18. He's at
18, yeah. So
okay.
he's 18 years old. And he's been following bodybuilding for a few years, and he loves it. He loves the guys, he loves the sport. He loves training, trained really hard. Um, Pretty well versed in the basics, right? He knows bodybuilding. Um, and he wants to go pro. 18-year-old, he wants to go pro. He like his that's his he idolizes all these bodybuilders, and he wants to step on stage next to them someday. So if that's his goal, if he wants to step on a pro stage, let's not even say Olympia, let's just say a pro stage, like that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a pro bodybuilder, and yeah, eventually get an income off of it, get sponsorship deals, all that stuff. That's cool to him too. But like his big thing is he wants to compete.
Mm.
How long should that 18-year-old wait until they hop on?
And he's been training already for a couple years?
He's been training for a couple years. Let's say since he was like 15, 16 years old.
I would like for that individual to at least get to 20. So I think getting at least like 2 more years. Like I don't think starting in your teens I think is worth it. Now I know there's other freaking phenoms that have hopped on way before that have just completely blown up. That's awesome. But for majority of you guys, that's not you. I think if you're just a regular average guy that just wants to get into bodybuilding and you want to compete at a pro level at some point, but you just have kind of like a mid physique, right? Maybe you have some strong suits. Okay, cool. Maybe your arm's a little bit bigger, but there's nothing about you that paints the picture of, damn, that guy's like a pro physique, or that guy could be something. Like no one's really looking at you that way. Then I would probably say take maybe another 2, maybe 3 years from your teens. Like if you're 18, like maybe 2021, I think wait until that age at least to just get a couple more years of experience, a couple more years of adding more size, do a couple of natural bodybuilding shows, see if that's actually something that you want to do before you head into just hopping on gear and then assessing from there. I think that'd be a way less less risky of a way that you could do that, and it'll also give you enough data to see, okay, is this something I really want to do? Do I enjoy competing naturally? Do I want to just be bigger? Like what's the goal here, right? Like if you want to win national level shows, you want to make a living out of bodybuilding, like to a point where you want to be a competitive athlete, you should have it naturally. I feel like most of the time, like you should have something about your physique that shows off, and people are looking at you like, okay, that guy's big, like, and that's not even, I feel like, with a shirt off. Like people should just be able to look at you and be like, that's a bigger dude. That's a guy that has muscle. I feel like that if you're that person, that people look at you, and people say these things about you sometimes.
Yeah,
So that's my opinion. Yeah.
I think a lot of guys just need, especially when they're younger, just have to be honest with themselves. And I think it could be really beneficial to have a conversation with not even just one, but maybe a few coaches that have been in the space, right? Like a few bodybuilding coaches, to actually say like, hey, do I have good shape? And a good coach is going to be honest with you. Um, you know, like because it does sometimes take a lot to be very objective with yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and say like, do I actually have good structure that is, you know, can has the capacity of being pro level, or do I have pretty just average structure, right? Because I think I totally agree with that. Is that I think how at what level you want to pursue this sport should be determinant on the fact of like, do you even have the shape to begin with?
Yeah.
Do you even have the structure to be? Because if you don't, why the fuck pursue it? You know, like I mean, it's you're likely not gonna do well. And of course, there's exceptions to this rule. I think probably the biggest one is a guy like Nick Walker. You know,
Yeah.
like Nick Walker is not a guy that started bodybuilding and looked good at all, but he was genetically predisposed to put on a fuck ton of muscle. Like, I mean, that guy is probably the peak, I think, example of a hyper responder. Like,
For
you,
gear,
yeah, for gear. Like, you take gear and fucking blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there are exceptions to the rule, but they're far few in between. And so I think if you don't have that shape, I don't think it's worth it. At least not to that level, right? And like I said earlier, I think it's on a spectrum, right? Like when you go enhance in if you decide that that's what you want to do, and you know there's no convincing you otherwise, that's okay too. But be smart, be educated, and know what direction you're taking before you start. Because yeah, you don't have to start taking a gram of gear when you run your first cycle. You shouldn't. That's stupid. Because you don't even know how you're going to respond to any of the compounds. You know, there's a spectrum to it. There's natural and there's super enhanced. You probably want to start with like natty plus plus. You know, like start in a range where like you're good. You can manage it. You can manage the sides. You can manage your health, and you almost use yourself as a test subject. You start to sort of see the way that you respond in the gym, how your sleep is, how your quality of life is, your blood work. Your blood work. Do not forget to do your blood work. You know, if you do, that's another thing to consider too. If you're gonna be enhanced, is like you should be doing your blood work at least a few times a year. You know, every at least once a quarter, bare minimum. You know, if you can get it more often, get it more often. But yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, so in general, I feel like I do think that a lot of younger guys right now just are I don't know. I feel like the Trent twins are kind of like to blame for this honestly because I feel like that's when I started seeing more like when they started going off on YouTube like what was it, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like I started seeing that way more often. Like there was just like more kids on social media, even here at the gym,
Yeah.
that were just like glamorizing their lifestyle and also wanting to do what they do, which is obviously be on gear, train fucking hard, all that shit. But like for the most part, man, like these guys were already pretty fucking jacked even before they hopped on, you know. So like
Yeah.
the fact that that's gonna be you is usually very minimal, and for you to have a national level physique, like a physique that's winning shows even at a national level, like you're going to have to been like you're gonna have to have been bodybuilding for like 8 to 10 years, majority of you for you to get that size. If you even get to a point where you get that size, like if you're talking about being like an open level bodybuilder, even like classic physique, like it's you're those guys are still pretty huge. They're
Even men's
still
physique,
fucking,
bro.
yeah,
Those guys like at a pro level. I mean, they're ginormous now. They look like
Yeah.
the classic guys, but just without legs.
yeah,
And even most of them do have legs. The
yeah.
pro guys, they have legs.
I'd beg to differ that some of those men's physique guys could be on classic for sure.
Yeah.
Like they could do classic.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, guys, like you have to understand that there's a timeline for these types of things. Like you can't just expect to hop on a bunch of shit when you're young and expect to grow into Ronnie Coleman in a year. It just doesn't happen. A lot of the times, if that is you, what's going to end up happening is you're just going to develop a lot of side effects. You're going to develop some gyno. You are most likely going to just shoot your complete blood count completely out of the water. Like, you're going to have to be donating blood. You're going to be red as a tomato. Your blood pressure is going to be high. And
You're definitely shedding years off of your life.
yeah, and when you're 18 or 17, you're not going to really feel it. You're going to feel great. Like, I don't know too many teenagers that have hopped on that did not feel good. Like,
Yeah.
they felt pretty good because you can tolerate it, obviously. Like, all the crazy...
You have a baby's body.
Yeah, all the crazy stuff that any teenager has done. Like, even me when I was in my teens, when... You know, like, all the multiple practices you do, if you do any sports, like, your body can take a beating when you're that young. Even your insides, okay? But it doesn't really show until you start getting maybe into your 30s or your 40s or your 50s. And then you're like, oh, shit, why is this marker always elevated? Or, oh, damn, I gave myself some kind of chronic disease at this point that I have to deal with now. So, or maybe I had an enlargement of something. My heart is now bigger. Now I gotta deal with that.
Left
So-
ventricular hypertrophy, brother.
Yeah. So not only that, but also plaque buildup, right? So if you're not checking your heart after a couple years of gear use, there's most likely some plaque buildup that you're already building up, right? As you head past 5, 10 plus years of gear use, that's probably even higher. Especially if you're taking after the lifestyle of the people you're watching on YouTube or TikTok. Because a lot of them aren't having the healthiest lifestyles with their gear use. So if you're wanting to just emulate these people that are on social media platforms that are blasting gear, partying, eating like crap, like this party lifestyle that I feel like is popularized, you're probably going to end up in the gutter at some point, because that doesn't add up. And for most people's bodies, it doesn't hold up either very long, at least. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
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 Yeah, I think that's the reality too of just like this image is like sold to all of you, like every single teenager that's on social media, this like sort of lifestyle and this way of being is glamorized to you, but there's only a handful, right, in comparison to how many people are actually on social media or even just in the world, right, that get to live this sort of lifestyle and still be wildly successful in terms of like money, right? Because success can be measured in several different ways. Money, financially, that's just one measurement of things. And so, like, they can do that a lot of the times because maybe they were some of the first to do it. Like, what comes to mind, like, sort of off the top of my head is, like, Togi. Togi and the Trent Twins are probably, like, some of the two that I'm like, yeah, these are the guys that sort of, like, are at the top of that sort of that, like, image branding, like, this party lifestyle where you're just... And not everybody can... there's not enough sponsorship money. There's not enough sponsorships to go around for every single one of you. And that's just the reality. And, there's different ways to do it. There's different ways to still pursue fitness. There's still different ways to pursue bodybuilding. There's still different ways to pursue what you want without sacrificing your health and your morals. But ultimately, that's a personal decision. Like, you get to decide. Yeah, that's my take on that. Is I think, like...
So what age would you say?
I would also say it's not worth it in your teens. For most guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You see a guy like was it Eric English, right? Is that kid?
Okay.
Yeah, Eric English. Started taking gear at 15. He's now 17, ginormous. Another guy, Logan Dishman. He's 17 years old, 17, 18. Is he 19 now?
That guy's huge,
Or he started
dude.
at 7? I don't know. He's in his teens. and he's fucking ginormous as well. I know he's prepping for his first bodybuilding show. Huge ass dude. I think these guys are examples of sort of genetic phenoms. Now, there's a lot of controversy surrounding them as well because they are so young, and they're taking gear and they're enhanced, and they're definitely sacrificing their health. Both these guys are very likely taking grams worth of gear to be the size that they are and how quickly they've blown up. But those guys are also guys that like started with pretty good shape. I mean, both Eric and Logan, they were both, when they were 15 years old and they were young, like you could look at them and be like, yeah, that guy's fucking, like, that guy's jacked. So, and again, those people are very far few in between. So I think that, between, man, I even want to say like 21, bro, like 21, like in your 20s, your early to mid 20s, if you're well educated enough at that point, if you've done all your homework, seriously, like I would hire a gear coach or just a coach that knows what they're doing when it comes to PEDs. If you decide to hop on and you're not well versed enough, like for sure, like go that approach. Make sure that you have somebody that has your best interest at heart.
Find somebody, and find a way to make the money work, dude. Like, literally, like, I think that's the number one biggest thing that as a young person sometimes you just aren't looking at is the return on investment that it's going to make for the rest of your life rather than trying to do this yourself in the beginning. And there's two types of thoughts with that. I feel like there's always the guy that's always trying to do it himself, always trying to do, like, not getting anyone else's opinion, and you're going to stumble and fall a lot. You're basically using a lot of trial and error. And if you're using ChatGPT or you're just going on YouTube videos and trying to just research it for yourself,
It's going to catch up.
It's going to catch up, and you're going to stumble and fall. ChatGPT doesn't know everything, and you need to pay for someone's experience because that is going to be the best way you're going to learn. So, and it'll probably help you not mess up as many times as you're going to do it yourself. So, pay for it. Find a way to pay for it. Make something work. Like, literally.
Top level pros have coaches, and that's for a reason.
Yeah.
Although it's going to be expensive, like definitely, like, and that's what you also have to be prepared for, right? Like, make sure that you go into this like financially stable enough to pursue it. If you're lucky enough and you have parents that can
support your gear growth.
that can support your which I know guys that. And so, like, if you if you have somebody that's able to, help you carry that financial stress, or maybe you just got it like that. You're just a guy that makes a lot of money and you're young. Like, make sure you have the financial stability and you can do that. Because I totally agree. Yeah, I think too many guys try to do it on their own, and that's where you see probably the majority of like health cases and the majority of fuck ups. Yeah. Although we even see it with guys that do have coaches and have pro level coaches. This guy that just passed away, 22 years old. What was his name? Was it Sergio? It was a young guy, 22 years old, Brazilian bodybuilder.
I think I saw it on Instagram or something, but I didn't really pay attention.
He just passed away. I didn't really follow him, so I don't know his name. Excuse me for that, but from what I watched Greg Doucette's video on it, and so this is all based on that video that I watched. But the kid was on track to, like, I think, like, go pro. I don't know if he was already pro or he was gonna go pro. But very insane physique. Let me see if I can find him here real quick.
But what, he was taking too much gear?
But yeah, he was his coach had him doing some pretty freaky protocols for Gabriel Ganley is his name. I guess his coach had him drinking like 3 gallons of water a day and like 25 grams of sodium for like over the course of 3 days for some like insane, fucking 350-pound Olympia level bodybuilder sort of protocol. I don't know if that's even like I've never heard of somebody drinking 3 gallons of water for 3 days and 25 grams of salt for 3 days.
What was it? Was he on a diuretics and stuff or something? You don't know.
I don't know. The video didn't specify what it was for, but I
That's
would assume so.
crazy.
Yeah. Um,
That's crazy. You know what, guys? Watch out for like. I feel like this is so common. Any South American coaches, like I'm talking like Brazil, Middle Eastern.
oh fuck.
I think those two are the biggest culprits. I feel like
Oh shit.
they recommend so like such crazy protocols. I've seen this shit on Reddit. I've seen this from other like just low level bodybuilders that are like just following these coaches that are just in these areas. I'm like, damn. Like I'm sure America has a lot of these coaches as well. I'm just saying from what I've seen because the deaths are like adding up. I feel like within those areas. But however, I do see that like Brazil has a giant bodybuilding culture. So does the Middle East. So I think it also just has to do with that too as well. There's just a higher demographic of people. There's probably other coaches that are just there that just are doing some crazy shit with people, like science experiments, like So, I don't know. Just
Yeah,
just
no, you
do your
definitely
research, man.
definitely watch
Yeah.
out for coaches who give you some like goofy ass protocols. Like if you're like if you can raise an eyebrow at the protocol that you're given, then ask questions. Like I also don't, and I'm like this with my athletes as well. I don't. You shouldn't trust your coach blindsided. Any coach. You should go into bodybuilding being relatively educated yourself
And ask questions.
and
Yeah.
ask questions, right? So if there's something that you're raising your eyebrow at and you're like, why am I doing this? Ask why. Because if your coach is giving you a protocol, they should be able to answer why, right? They should be able to tell you why you're doing something. And if their explanation still seems fucking weird, go ask another coach. Do your own research. Because yeah, you shouldn't just like and when you're in that state, when you're like in on prep, and this is what's so like this is what can get really sad about the sport is like yeah, when you're on prep, when you're under this just like high stress just environment and situation and state of being, that's not something you really look out for. You're just like, okay, this is my coach. He's gotten me this far. I'm trusting him. Like I'm just gonna do what the fuck he tells me. But yeah, I mean, that's a goofy ass protocol. I think. I don't know. I think for even
Or at least like learn from it too. So like if you know after that particular show, you're like, dude, this was crazy. Like this was like after you get some food in you, you have some time to reflect. Use that time to reflect to either fire that coach and go to someone else or something, but like make your own decision based off that. Because yeah, that's right. I mean, during prep, maybe you're just not super aware. Maybe you're just like, oh, maybe it's just something
yeah.
other competitors do. But there is crazy stuff that I just don't think a lot of people, especially if this is like your first or second show or even like third, like dude, like and you're just heading into that like gear territory. I just don't think you need a ton. Like I
No.
don't think you really need a ton. Like what are you really pushing by increasing your androgen use when you're like 3 or 4 weeks out? You're not losing any muscle. You're not gaining any considerable amount of muscle by raising more gear anyways. All you're doing is just making your adrenals and screwing up your blood work, and also just it's an inflammatory response on your body. Increasing more androgen use is inflaming your body in general. So if anything, it's not causing you any good. If anything, it's probably just making you more unstable as a human being. So yeah, so I think that's my last couple things I wanted to say about that.
Yeah. 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 I mean, just be careful. Be smart. Start slow. If you decide that you want to hop on, like, I'm definitely not against it. I'm definitely not against gear use. I just think we live in a crazy time where
There's a
PEDs are
lot of information.
overused. Yeah, PEDs are overused, And I mean, you even see it used with guys who just fucking want to like look good with a six pack on the beach, you know, that aren't necessarily even into bodybuilding. It's not bodybuilding related whatsoever. It's just they want to look good. And I don't know. I think that's even crazier to me. It's just so normalized. It's so. But then there's the argument that like, you know, well, I don't do any other drugs. I just do steroids. So I'm just, you know, I'm like everybody else. This is just I'm just picking my poison.
This is your vice. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my vice.
If that's your vice, then you have to understand that there's always repercussions.
Yeah.
Every vice has a repercussion. Doesn't matter how positive it might be. A vice I look at as an addiction because most of the time you're overdoing it or doing more than the average person would. So whatever that vice is, there's always going to be repercussions. So, and it doesn't matter how you say it, it doesn't make it any less repercussive. So, yeah. I think that's kind of about it. I mean, we kind of went over basically everything about gear use, about what age you should start, and then why we're not on. So now it's time for you to make your own decision. So that's it, guys. Follow us for more. Please comment, like.
Take your fish oils.
Take your fish oil.
Your vitamin C, bro. Your vitamin D. Your magnesium.
Yeah.
Your B12.
Hell yeah. Your
creatine.
Your creatine.
It's Natty
Creatine
Plus.
powder.
Might be Natty Plus.
Yeah. Let us know what else you guys want to see. Comment down below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.
Peace.